Bap. All right, guys, happy Monday morning, April 17th. I'm coming to you alive, excited, full of passion, and as always, coming to you full of tremendous levels of gratitude. So I'm excited about today. So let's go right in, you guys. We have a lot of smiling faces on the call today. If you have the ability to do so, please put your camera on. Like I said, Melody's here with the newborn, no excuses. If she could be here and have her camera on, why can't you? So I'm actually going to turn it over to Mel. Obviously, Mel's been a huge staple in our environment for the last few years for Keep It Moving group coaching. She recently became a mother. And so now she went from having an empty home with just her and Costa for what, 12 years, now to having another little human in the house. So it changes some things up, but I'm stoked to have you, Mel. Give us take us out on the field. And I had a few things that I want you to add to it. So take us out on the field today. And if you were to say a word of the day that was something that's going to push you through the day, what would that word be? And if you were to give yourself a little bit of coaching advice today, what would that coaching advice need? And what would you tell yourself? So Mel, I'm going to turn it over to you. Hit us, big dog, and let's go ahead and start with you. Let's go.
Good morning, you guys. Happy Monday. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. I would definitely say that the word for the day is to persevere. That's my word. Like, I have been hit with more challenges in the past 4 weeks than I have ever been hit with in my life. And it's all about navigating the new. And it's kind of like navigating this market. Like, you never know what's going to hit you. I never know when the baby's about to have a meltdown or pee on me or throw up. But you know what? Like, you just have to get through it, clean up the mess, and keep it moving forward and be ready for what's happening next. Like, always be 10 steps ahead of what is happening. And one piece of coaching advice that I think that I would give to myself is definitely continue fueling your mind and never sleep on yourself. I 100% have been craving like reading more, getting in front of this market, connecting with other business owners, connecting with different people to mastermind and put together some, cool events and classes. And it's funny because they thought like, oh, when you have a kid, you just gotta, you just kind of disappear. But I have really been persevering through it, and you have to continue fueling your mind, continue fueling your life and your business no matter what, because you don't want to lose that edge, right? You don't want to miss out and get behind the competition out there. So that's one piece of coaching advice I'd give to myself.
I love it. I love it. For all the parents out there that struggle, listen, there's times where Silas is home. There's times when the girls are home. So my heart goes out to you guys. And I know that it's challenging some days, but I like how you made the correlation with having a newborn and then the baby. So when the market shits on you, when the market pisses on you, when the market just shows up and takes a left turn out of nowhere, we're able to adjust. So Mel, it's really good to see you. The baby is beautiful. So just so you guys know, Melody's baby's had 3 newborn shoots and he's not even 6 weeks old. So the dude's going to be a celebrity, but I love it. So you guys, let's go right in. I'm going to have you write a couple questions. I want to make sure that we're doing this weekly just to have a little bit of maintenance and check in with each other, but let's go here. So first things first, it's a question for yourself, whether you answer that question here or whether you just write it on your notes, but I do want you to be clear on this. How much income producing activities do you have scheduled for this week alone? It is Monday morning. The answer to that question should be something. That shouldn't be nothing. I don't have a calendar. I don't have that written down, or I don't know. We're not going to exist in I don't knows and chance, right? I'm not living my life by chance. I don't know about you guys. I want a life by design. So the first question is, how much income producing how much income producing activity do you have scheduled right now? And if you had to rank yourself on how spot on your calendar is for this week, where would you rank that? Is your calendar set, or are you setting it up now, or you haven't even put anything in it? You have some notes, but you have nothing in your calendar. I want you to get clear on what is in your calendar for this week. Another question to ask yourself, and we asked this last week, and I think it's an ongoing question that we're always going to ask. What is the hardest thing that you need to accomplish today? What is the hardest thing? And I want you to get in front of it before noon. What is the hardest thing that you need to do? Whether it's calling, like Will has this client that is a pain in the ass. Maybe you have a tough call you have to make. Maybe there's some bad news that you have to deliver. Maybe there's 20 follow-up calls that you've been putting off. Whatever it is, what is the hardest thing that you need to accomplish today? What is the hardest thing that you need to accomplish by the end of this week? Is that calendar? Do you know that? Do you understand what that is? Do you still live in a time where you don't understand Follow-Up Boss, but you haven't watched one video on how to understand how to actually use Follow-Up Boss? So if the goal for the end of the week is to make sure that your follow-up game is on point, how much time are you actually going to spend making sure your follow-up game is on point? So potential obstacles, knowing yourself, knowing your life, knowing procrastination, all the things that you face. What are some of the obstacles that you might face this week that are going to stand in your way of income producing activities, as well as the hardest things that you need to accomplish? What are those obstacles? Be aware of it, be able to see it. And then also ask yourself, how am I going to navigate through those obstacles? What am I going to do about it? If something faces me, what am I going to do about it? If baby doesn't go to sleep when he's supposed to, what am I going to do? I said I was going to go to that meeting in Prospect. I wasn't able to. What am I going to do? How am I going to adjust? And what am I going to do to get around these obstacles? Be clear on the obstacles that you guys are going to face today and be conscious of how you're going to be able to navigate around those. Conversations. How many conversations are you going to have this week? Now, I ask you that, and some of you might right now in your mind be thinking, what does he mean by that? I don't necessarily know. This goes back to you guys understanding what your goals are, what your financial goals are for this year. And we're not going to do a whole session on VTO, but I want to remind you guys, Chris B is one of the best examples of VTO. This dude has this over his desk. He has all of his stuff. He knows exactly when to reflect, how to reflect, to know. And what you do is you say, okay, I want to sell 30 homes this year. Okay. 30 homes times 40. How many is that? All right, well, that's the amount of conversations that you need to have, because industry standards state you need to have about 40 conversations to get to one contract. Well, now you have your number. You divide that by 52 weeks. It's going to tell you how many conversations you should be having every single week. So I want you to ask yourself, what are my conversation goals for this week? It should be, you should be able to know that by the day, by the week, by the month, by the quarter, by the year, and understand this. We're going to remove I don't knows. We're going to remove 5. Be clear. Be very, very clear. And you guys asked for this before, so I'm going to give it to you now, because if people leave the meeting early before whatever reason, I'm going to give you your homework right now. I'm going to do things early so you guys know that you didn't miss anything. And here's the homework for the weekend. It's very, very simple. Here's your accountability piece. Here's your homework for the week. First thing, add all of my consumers to Follow-Up Boss, tag them in Real Scout, and set up search parameters from the people that have met over the weekend at open houses, from door knocking, so on and so forth. That's one of the things that I'm going to do no matter what. That is homework for the week. Update my CC. I'm going to go in. I'm just going to update my stats. And lastly, put my goals into Slack. Before we leave here today, I'm going to have everyone go in the general channel. We're going to start another thread, and I want you guys to put your goals in. You guys asked for more accountability. You guys asked for homework. I want to make sure that we're all doing this. Last week, we had about 17 people put their goals into Slack. We have right now 72 people on the call. I would like, hell or high water, no matter what, that everyone posts their goals into Slack. And here's why. If Jennifer Angel puts her goals into Slack and we come back here next week and we're having a conversation, we can ask Jennifer, did you hit your goals? No. In the realm of possibility, could you have? Well, yeah. Well, then what stood in your way? This, that, or the other. Do you want to recommit, or do you want to set some new goals that are actually meaningful to you, that will pull you, and no matter what, you're going to accomplish that? I want to make sure that we're serving each other in the collective wisdom, and that we're holding each other accountable. I'm not here to say, Christy, did you make your calls? Jess, did you make your call? I'm not here to do that. You want to make excuses, go look your kids in the face and tell them why you're not going to have a good summer with them. I'm not here to listen to your excuses, but I'm here to help you and create a condition for you guys to be able to thrive in. But you guys have to do these things. So I'm going to ask you guys today, huge piece of the homework, throw your goals in a Slack. Before we leave the meeting today, I'll start a thread. And then in that thread, not outside of the thread, we're still learning how to, Lizette, we're still learning how to, not calling anybody out. We're still learning how to put responses in the thread. But what I want to see you guys do, look at her, she knows what's up. I want you guys to respond in the thread. So it's organized, it's kept, and it's in a place where you guys can see it and you can see your brothers and sisters. I want you guys to hold each other accountable. If you say, hey, Lisa, I saw that you were doing this event. How was that? How did it go? How did you get all those vendors out? What did you email them? What did you say to them? How'd you get so many people in the room? Was it a success? How are you following up? When's the next one? If you're thinking about throwing an event, Elisa just did a vendor event last week. Elisa, how many people came to that event?
It was between 45 and 50 people.
45 and 50 people. And how many vendors?
We had about 10 vendors, and I had to say no to some. It was great. It was great. Everybody was just having fun, connecting. That was the goal, you know. So
I love it.
And everybody had a blast.
And a lot of times people think, well, I don't have the budget to throw an event. What was your spend?
I want to say maybe $40. $50.
Okay. Look at Andrew, his eyebrows were like $40 to get in front of 45 people. And even if those vendors aren't buying homes right now, they may in the future, but they know a lot of people. So
Oh, yeah.
Elisa, I love that. I'm actually going to come back to you in a little bit. I tried to get to you last week, but I want to come to you in a couple minutes to go further in detail. But the point is, us being able to put our goals together in one place where we could see it, you might have a goal and it's something that somebody else on the call just accomplished. So that's the reason for it. It's not for me, you guys. It's not for me. This is for you. And if you look back at your week, you got to do some reflection. You got to have the mirror and be like, I didn't do anything that I said I was going to. I remember I promised you, but I didn't do any of that. Like, you need to have some real honest conversations with yourself. Fired up. I'm excited about this week, you guys, full of energy. A couple things I want to share with you guys really quick before we get into open house best practices. I believe that there are so many good things coming out of open houses right now. If you had a successful open house this weekend and you had people come through, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you're doing to convert for an appointment, what you're doing for follow-up. What is your game plan yesterday after it? What was your game plan Saturday after your open house? What is your follow-up cadence? What's your videos like? I want to hear from you guys. So I'm going to give you a chance to think about that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some stats with you guys right now because I thought this was super, super dope. And I'm going to share this with you really quick. All right, guys. So I'm going to go in here, and for the last 30 days, I'm going to highlight a couple of you because you guys did an incredible job using Sisu, and what it's going to do, it's going to impact your business in a very, very big way. So what I did is I pulled up a couple categories for you guys from 3/17 until today, went 30 days back, and I pulled a couple categories. First one, video emails sent. Look at the amount of video emails that these people are sending. Colette with 15, Amy with 15, Sammy with 22, 93. We're in the office the other day and I'm hearing Sammy make call after call after call in Spanish, in English, call after call, sending videos. So you guys, great stuff. Congratulations to you. And let's continue going on. I'm going to go into appointments met. Check this out. Check this out. Just 30 days, you guys. Cynthia, she's on vacation right now, and rightfully so. But 38 appointments met in the last 30 days. Maria Dominguez, 19, Sammy, 17, George, 11, and Omar, 10. Let's keep cruising, you guys. Let's go open houses. Let's go, where did I go? Sorry, open houses, boom. Open houses. So open houses in the last 30 days, 7, 5, 4, 4, 4. Look at Jordan's new, Jacqueline's relatively new, Christina's new, Nina's new, Joellen has consistent flow in her business right now. And then check this out. We added a new category and I thought this was dope to be able to look at. Check this out. When you think about like what it takes to do this, doors knocked. All right. You guys know Carmen is a 17-year veteran in this business. 17 years, Queen of Hayward. She knocked on 50 doors. Kimberly Lopez, 50 doors. Lovely, 50 doors. Nina, 50 doors. Dominique Curtis, 33 doors. So I want this to be an indicator of, wow, like I'm actually doing the things. I'm doing the work. I'm actually having some progress in my business. And the way that I'm able to look back at it and be like, damn, great job, or I need some improvement, is by Sisu. You guys, it is such an incredible tool for you guys to reflect and be able to track to see exactly what you're doing. I don't want to always talk about it, but I want to talk about it because I know it will help you. When I think about how much Maria has grown in the last 3 months, so much of that is just being able for her to look at all of her activities and see exactly what she's doing. So I want to share something with you guys really quick, but does anybody have anything that they want to chime in on before we keep cruising? Anybody? Anything on?
Elias, I have a quick
Yeah.
question.
Yeah,
On CSU for the Mets, for the clients met or appointments met, do we count that as showings as well? Or is that for actual brand new buyers that you're meeting or brand new sellers?
it's for any appointment. Now, don't do it for every single showing, but if you meet a consumer, whether it's someone that you knew from a while ago or if it's brand new, that's an appointment met.
Okay.
Yep, the listing appointment, buyer appointment, appointment met.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank
Good
you.
question though. Anything else before we continue on? No? Okay, cool. Let's keep cruising, you guys. All right. So I pulled this up because I wanted to go through this a little bit further. Sorry, a little bit further with you guys really quick. And I'm going to present this. I haven't done the cool thing where my face moves around, but I'll get to that later on. So what I want to do is I want to ask each of you guys, and some of you already have this and some of you may not have this. I want to ask you guys what your lead flow is. Each of us need to understand exactly what happens as soon as I get a lead. Now, if you've been here for more than 2 years, you've probably seen this in the past, but if you haven't seen this, I want you to take a picture or I'll send you these slides. And the idea is for you guys to start building something that has worked for you. That's why we're going to talk about open houses. Not only do I want to know about the cadence and the rhythm of what you're actually saying to people to convert and to get them on your side, but I also want to know, can someone mute themselves? Michael Swanson, can you mute yourself? I don't know. I'm getting some background noise. There, it's gone. The point is I want to know exactly what that flow is like. So I'll give you an example of this. This is something I've done with many consumers in the past. Now, obviously, you guys can enhance this, delete this, use some things that work for you. But the idea is to walk away from our session today with a clear understanding of what you do every single time you have a lead. A lead comes in, I make the appointment. Now, as soon as I make the appointment, what do I do next? I send a video through Mixmax, through Vidyard. Now, you could use Bonbon, you can use whatever, but the reason why I like sending it through Mixmax, and if you don't have Mixmax, $9.99 a month, it's a Chrome extension, goes right to your Google, very easy, simple. The reason why I like Mixmax is because now when you spit that video and you do an animated GIF, so they see it, you're moving around, it's not just some awkward part of the video you try to get, you can actually see how many times they opened it and if they watch the video in their entirety. I think that's important. I want to know if they're watching the video in their entirety. As soon as that's done, I set up a group text. I set them up in Follow Up Boss and Real Scout. We've already said that. And before buyer showings, I send the flow, the calendar, the invite, and then the buyer CMA. And I do all that through Cloud CMA. Once the showing is complete, you set up a Zoom call for the buyer's consult and conduct the buyer's consultation. And we do not cut corners on that. People say that, oh, I do the buyer's consultation when I'm walking around the home. How can you do a thorough buyer's consultation if you don't sit down, have coffee, or actually do it on Zoom? How can you explain appraisal contingencies when you're walking through a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house? And there's other distractions, right? What I want you to do is I want you to be focused in that moment, asking them really good questions about, could they see themselves living in this home? Could they see themselves living in this home, right? And if they tell you that, then you can eliminate a lot of the questions that we're asking. Could you see yourself living in this home? From there, you schedule more showings. When it's offer time, you schedule another Zoom. And what you do is you review the comps, the summary of the disclosures, and then you take a deep dive into the disclosures. You don't just send them to the disclosures and be like, let me know if you have any questions. No. What is an SPQ? What is a TDS? What is a general home inspection? What are action items? What are things to take notice of? What is Section 1? Does that mean I have termites? Well, no, not necessarily, Mr. Consumer. Let me share with you. What is the expectancy of the roof? You guys should be going deep into all of those reports, but also sending those over to the consumers for them to view on their own as well. Once you've done all that, you determine the terms, and then you do a final Zoom to cover the RPA and go through any buyer questions, making sure that you understand that RPA is one of the best things that you guys could do in your career. A lot of times we're like, oh my God, this is so long. You guys just print it out, make some highlights on it, have it be something that you reference. Because if a consumer asks you, well, what is this section? What is Megan's Law? What does liquidated damages mean? You guys got to be able to answer those questions. So this flow is a flow that should be done every single time. Now, mind you, some of you might have your own flow, and I appreciate that. That's why I want to open up the conversation. And then lead nurture. Here's obviously some things that you guys could be doing right now to lead nurture. Your follow-up boss, your KV core. We used to use Chime, so this is old. Trello board. A lot of you are using Trello, which I'm a big fan of because Trello is your whiteboard on the go. Real Scout, MailChimp Campaign, and HomeBot. These are some ways and tools that you guys can use to really, really impact the lead nurture. Somebody said it on last week's call. They said, I had a client, no, I think it was Aaliyah. She had a client that she met in Piedmont, a year and a half, almost 2 years. And finally they called her for a appointment to go list their home. Why? Because she had solid follow-up, had them in her CRM. She knew exactly how many times that she had called. So I want to turn this over to you. If you had an effective open house, let's just say in the last 2 weeks, I'll open it up. You had people coming through, people were walking in, come in, come in. I want to hear what you guys are saying. First off, how are you guys converting for an appointment to go see more homes or a buyer's consultation? What you're giving them? What do you have? Do you have sake and sushi? Do you have cupcakes? Do you have brown? What is it that you have to create this environment? And then most importantly, how are you following up with all those people? What is that cadence? What is that sequence? What is that rhythm? What is that flow directly after? So I want some hands up. I don't want just our usual suspects answering this because I know a lot of you have been doing open houses, but I will have Joellen start us off, but please do not be shy. I want you guys to raise your hand and get involved in this conversation because it's important to your guys' growth. Joellen, hit us.
Hi, good morning. So yeah, we had Friday night was pop on by. This home just popped up and it was popcorn. I had a popcorn machine, made popcorn for everybody, did a raffle. And then Saturday it was a fiesta. We had some truly margaritas, we had sparkling water, we had chips and salsa. We had probably about 50 couples from Friday to Sunday. I'm now going through offers right now. I'm like in the real thick of the real estate market right now where you're getting over asking. Listing is going to be pending tomorrow. So it's like, this open house was mega. People came through like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. You guys are having a party out here. Oh my gosh. People were drinking the Trulies, talking. I landed a listing and a seller yesterday. A listing and a buyer. They asked me to take them down the street real quick to show them another house. Jordan was able to stay by and take care of everybody else in the house. So it's really good when you do an open house with 2 people, just in case you got to take one of those people to go view another house.
All right, so let's talk a few tactics here. So you had a successful open house. This is obviously your listing. How are you promoting? What are you using to promote your list or your open house ahead of time? Let's go there first.
So Nextdoor, Facebook, all over, the MLS and social media.
Cool. I love it. I love it. Here's something I want everyone on this call. I don't care if you've sold 50 homes or if you've sold 5 homes. Stop saying this. What brings you in today? It's literally the kiss of death statement. It's the kiss of death statement. How did you find us? Did you see our sign or did you find us online? Wonderful. Come on.
Yeah. We
Okay,
say,
cool.
how'd you hear about us today? How are you getting around? How are you getting into homes? Do you live in the area? And then when they start eating and like kind of just talking, they feel more comfortable. So if you guys can have food there, do it because they almost thought they were like at a bar. Like I was a bartender. They were behind me and Jordan and we were talking and just socializing. So
all right. So Joellen, so let's talk more tactic here. So you are hitting it off with somebody, they've toured the home and now they're in the living room and they're eating their little snacks. Like, how are you converting them for an appointment? I want to hear the words that you're saying because I think everyone can grow from this.
So what I'm saying is we don't say, oh, are you working with a realtor? We just find out if they are by asking them who's getting you in today. So one couple, they're like, yeah, we don't really have anybody. I said, no, like, are you, after my couple words were who's getting you in? And I said, oh, so you're not working with anybody. Well, it sounds like you're working with me now. And then they said, yeah, let's do it. But basically just, did you want to see some disclosures? I get their email right away so I can send them disclosures. Nobody signs in. I do not have a sign-in sheet at all.
Okay, wow. Okay. And so when you say I get their email. Walk me through that. So you just met me. We're not working with anybody. How are you getting me to give you my email?
So I have disclosures on this property. I have inspections, everything. If you'd like me to send you the disclosures right now, I'll take down your email. Yeah, absolutely. We would love that.
Okay, perfect. And do you find that most people understand what disclosures are if they're first-time home buyers?
I talk about like the inspections and what they are and what we have done. So I give them a little information on what those are, just in case they don't know. And then I
Okay.
get their email. I also do a raffle basket. So if they want to write down their name and number and email to win the raffle basket,
Mm.
I can do it that way, but nobody signs in on a sign-in sheet.
And then what is your spend on the raffle basket?
Oh, like $25 maybe. Movie
And-
tickets.
Cool. Do most people sign up for the raffle?
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, cool. Let's go more tactic here, you guys, and stay with me. And please, somebody else get in the queue to answer this next question or to talk about their open house. So, Joellen, you had 50 people come through. What is the follow-up game, the system for all those people? Where do those people live technologically now?
So right now, everybody in my KV core, they are all being put on a buyer nurture drip. I also have them set up on an appointment because I have an appointment me and Jordan do with a couple of them. So yeah, that's where they live. And I actually last night got a lead in KV core to go show a brand new home today at 12:30.
Beautiful, beautiful. So let's continue this conversation. A couple more questions for you. How do you get their phone numbers?
How do you, oh, for the raffle, I have little blue tickets and then I have a raffle gift. And I say, if you would like to enter the raffle, just fill out your information right here.
Cool. And then are you calling all the people that did not win, or are you just calling the winners?
Oh, well, everyone's just going into my system and whoever they know, they're going to get a text message with the little raffle wheel with their name on it. And it's going to show who's going to win it. And it's
Beautiful.
a video.
Beautiful. And now that you have all these people in your follow-up boss or in your KV core, what is the follow-up campaign for the next 5 days? For all those people that just came on Saturday and Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what's the follow-up campaign now?
So Jordan and I are going to call them, and for the new buyers, get them in on a buyer's tour schedule. And then the others are just going to go into the nurture and a call.
Beautiful. When you have somebody in nurture, how many touch points do you typically have? Say if we're doing like a 6-month nurture.
So it's just an automatic KV core, but it sends me a task when to call. So I'm just starting that. That's all new right now, but I'm working it right now. So I have about 20 calls a day that I'm making.
Beautiful.
I got a lead.
And then you said you got a listing opportunity from this yesterday, correct?
Yes, we met this couple that came in and they loved the fact that we were just socializing like we did, and just started giving them some great information about the neighborhood and the market and what it was like. And yeah, we got a listing appointment on Wednesday at 11 o'clock in El Dorado Hills.
Beautiful. I love this. I love this. Great stuff. I mean, tons of stuff that she's doing. Really, really good flow. I love this. Adonis, let's hear from you, big dog. And the hair looks great. But let's hear from you. Let's hear about your, where was the open house at first off? Let's talk that.
Open house is in Oakland, in the Millsmont area. So up in
Nice.
the hills there, has a great view. I did it last Sunday and this past Saturday as well. And first off, I just have my custom signs, that has my picture on it and has the hair going. So yeah, that really attracts a lot of people. Right now I have 5 of those.
I love it.
People, in the neighborhood, whether they're neighbors, a lot of neighbors came just walking around. Really, it gets the people that, see it and can connect with me and say, hey, you look like my people. That's what someone said, and that's the people that I'm looking to work with,
So Adonis, let's go through some of the tactic here. So say you had the open house on Saturday. What is the preparation? How are you advertising? How are you marketing it? And are you knocking on doors? And tell us through that first off.
Yeah, I haven't been doing much yet. I'm still building out the flow and being more consistent with that. I want to create more social media for that and do some door knocking. But yeah, so far, these past ones, I just kind of put the signs out there and went out there and hosted them. And yeah, the past week we had about 20 groups come in, and this last weekend it was less on Saturday, maybe 6 or 7 groups. The second week that I hosted it. So
beautiful. Now, Adonis, now that you have the people in your ecosystem, first off, did you convert for any appointments during the open house?
Yeah,
So,
Your mic keeps on going really low and then it turns up.
Take off my headphones and see.
It's the hair, I think.
Hello?
Yeah, we're better. Adonis, can you hear me, bro?
Can you hear me better?
It's worse.
Hi.
Hold on, man.
All right, so we're gonna come back to you in a minute or so. Let's fix the audio and then we'll come back to you. But who else has an open house that they did in the last 2 weeks, had traffic, has a flow that they want to share? Because I feel that this is a really, really powerful conversation, seeing as we're doing more open houses, seeing more buyer activity than we had in the previous couple months. Who else did an open house in the last 2 weeks? So, all right. So, Steffi, I don't know if you can talk. I know that you're driving, but let's do this. I'm going to go to George really quick, and then Steffi, I'll come right to you. George, let's hear Big Dog. If you can throw your camera on, please throw your camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was about to jump in the shower and I was like, you know what, this is a good conversation. So I've had a ton of people ask me when I posted 2 weeks ago, what app was I using? And I shadowed Christina Darrow a few months ago, and I absolutely did not like doing open houses. And I feel like ever since she showed me this system, I downloaded the app and I use it every time. So she taught me to replace pen and paper with an iPad. And so I ended up downloading Open Home Pro and using an iPad and having people sign in. And what I love about it is, I'm not going to lie, I was being frugal as hell at first, but I recommend paying the $250 for the year. And the people sign in on the iPad. It auto syncs it once you put it to Wi-Fi to your follow-up boss. So if you use follow-up boss, it'll straight up upload all of them. And then you could preset the property profile on the app to go ahead and have all the photos. And the moment you attach the iPad to Wi-Fi and end the open house, it'll auto email everybody all the photos and thank them for coming on your behalf. So that way it kind of does that touch point before you can go ahead and give them a call. So that it's kind of like a warm intro after the open house. And that's
Beautiful.
definitely.
And you paid $250 for the year.
Yeah, and it's a write-off. And honestly, I've recommended it to some people, and they're not gonna lie, they were being cheap as hell like I was at first. But I mean, if you pay the $250, you have access to being able to email everybody afterward. But not only that, but then it auto uploads everything. Otherwise, if you use the pro version, you're going to have to manually type in everybody's name from the iPad to follow-up boss. Whereas when you just connect the Wi-Fi, it just uploads it.
Let's pause for a quick second. Judith, if you can put the link in chat so everyone can have that link. All right. So George, how are you doing your advertising for the open house? Let's just go there really quick. What are you doing pre?
So what I do is I usually will just, like today, as I was listening to this conversation, I was like, damn, I gotta just find an open house for this weekend today because they're super scarce. So what I've been pretty much doing is sometimes I like to go to the house beforehand and do like a quick little video or like a teaser. Or what I'll do is I'll go ahead and post it on my Facebook page, and then I'll do it as an Instagram story. I'll just make a Canva. And then what I like to do is I'll like tag you, I'll tag the team, I'll tag Kenny, and then I'll tag maybe 15 other friends that are not in real estate. So they'll just repost it for me. So it's pretty much getting it out there. And I've had people that come into the open house and are like, yeah, I saw your open house promotion on my buddy David's Instagram story. And then I know what Denitza and Ale and I have done is we've door knocked the day before. And we've actually had neighbors come in that way as well.
I love it. Now, George, talk to me a little bit about the during. You get 20 people coming in. Obviously, you want to try to talk to everybody. It gets a little overwhelming sometimes. You got tons of people coming through. You're just trying to connect. How are you converting for an appointment at the open house?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I kind of sometimes go for the appointment a little bit after. I just kind of like to fill it out. But one of the things that I've done is I like to provide value because I realize a lot of other agents aren't telling their clients about different strategies on how to get into a house. So kind of just using a cookie cutter, one size fits all, and not telling them about different down payment assistance programs, whether they need them or not. And I always tell them too, like, hey, you know what? Like you're like, you have an agent, right? And they're like, yeah, I have an agent. Or if they don't, I'm like, well, cool. I would always recommend, whether you're looking to buy now or later, to sit down with myself and my lender, Mike, and we can come up with some strategies, just kind of do a temperature check to see where you're at. Because whether you feel like you're not ready to buy, what I've found is I've had buyers that feel the same exact way as you. And the moment we sat down and they chatted with Mike and I and ran their numbers, they found out they're in a much better position than they actually are. Whereas those that have thought they were ready to go right now and could be pre-approved for $1 million, they sit down with Mike and I and realize that, oh shit, I'm pre-approved for 500,000, half of what I thought. So what Mike and I do is we come up with a strategy to help them be set up for whether it's 6 months down the road, 12 months down the road. And what Mike does really well is that he'll give you numbers that says, hey, you spent too much on your Macy's credit card, pay it down by $1,800 in the next 6 months, and your credit score will go up 70 points. And I found when me and him have done that together and sit down and strategize with people that way, we've actually retained quite a bit of clients. But then also when my clients find a different lender that may beat the rate, they always stick with Mike because of his personality and strategy that we come up together with them. But not only that, when they do that, I'll tell them, go for it. Give Mike your estimate from your other lender and see if he could beat it.
Love this. Love this. George, let me ask you, in the past, let's say 6 months, how many people do you think that you've added to your follow-up boss or your CRM from open houses?
Honestly, I would definitely say I didn't start doing open houses more frequently until probably about November. And I probably added about 100 people to my database, and actually quite a bit of them I feel like I'm still showing houses to. And in the beginning, I was very adamant that open houses didn't work for me, but I realized being in person, I like to build those connections with people. And if you can really get in front of them and feel like you're creating an experience and coming more from a help mentality, they're going to see more value in working with you. Because I've had people, I had someone that literally drove up from Fresno this past weekend that I met a year ago. And I kid you not, I was one of those people that was like, damn, following up for a year, I don't want to waste my time, but I just kept doing it. And I actually set him up on follow-up or Real Scout, like you guys said a few months back. And she hit me up and was like, oh my God, literally, I found this house. I know I told you August is when I was going to start when I graduated nursing school, moved back from Fresno, but I saw this house. So I want to come up, and me and my husband want to see the house. So I showed them 2 houses this weekend. And I feel like just setting them up on Real Scout and whatnot has really helped with that as well.
I love this. I love this. You guys are hearing a lot of, and Steffi and Jess, I'm coming in a moment. You guys are hearing a lot of strategy and tact, right? It's important that you guys all have God-given talent, personality, and communication skills. And that's really good. And you guys all have really good energy. But now you back that up with a system and with a strategy and a formula, a lead flow process, you guys, I promise you'll have a higher conversion rate. And here's something I want to tell to everybody that is on the call right now. And Adonis, I saw your hand up, bro. I'll get right back to you as well. When you guys door knock, let me ask you a quick question, and just take yourself off of mute to answer this question. Why are you door knocking before an open house? Just, and it might sound rhetorical, but just answer that question. Why are you door knocking? Go ahead, Lizette.
Well, sales. I want to get more sales.
Okay, cool. That's a given, right? What else, you guys? Why else are we door knocking?
Because the chances are a lot higher that there's someone in that neighborhood that's considering and selling. So you want to get in front of them before they go with another agent.
Yeah, okay, perfect. You know what? I'm going to add one to this. What I believe in is I believe that each of you need to be third-party story junkies, and you need to be experts at telling stories. And here's why. If you go to open houses and you're a new consumer, typically a lot of people are asking you the same things. Oh, what brings you in? Do you have an agent? Are you pre-approved? I'm just like, shut up. Like, it's the same exact thing over and over. And then they get to Otis's. Hey guys, how are you? Did you guys find us online, or did you see the sign outside? All right, come on in. Now when they come back in, so what'd you think of the house on a scale from 1 to 7? Wonderful. Let me ask you, who's in your corner right now educating you on everything that you need to know about the market and how to get your offer accepted in this competitive environment? Nobody. I didn't ask them, are you working with somebody? Am I working with somebody? It might not be a good relationship. So here's the thing. Back to my point here, you're not only door knocking for leads, to tell the neighbors about this. You are door knocking to get information about that community that is not seen on the MLS, not read on Zillow. You cannot see the information that the little lady next door told you, that the neighbors have this annual party and we do trick-or-treating as a community and we do block parties. And that guy over there, Tom, he's an asshole. Don't go and knock on his door. He never invites us to any of the parties. So guess what? Hi, well, yeah, come on in. You know what? Hey, Adonis, let me share a few things about the home that you can't see that I learned from the neighbors yesterday. Oh, now I'm storytelling. Now I'm getting them closer to me because I'm connecting. And it's not just, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Yep. It's built in 1978. Yep. There is reports. No, I want to go a little bit further with people because that's how you're going to build a bond with somebody in a very quick time frame. Let me share a few things about the house that you can't see, right? About what it's like living in this community. You could have a dope ass house, but the community is shit and you don't want to live there. So data mine. You guys are knocking on doors to data mine. And it's not always stats, figures, it's information about the community and what it's like actually living there. And I want you guys to make a point of that. When you're knocking on the neighbors' doors, listen to their stories, listen to them, and then use that in your dialogue when you're talking with consumers to make the dialogue seem less salesy and more of just a relationship-based conversation. I want to give that advice to everybody. Adonis, let's go to you really quick. I'll come to Steffi and then we're going to go to Jess. Adonis, let's try that audio one more. I think it was the hair blocking the mic.
Yeah, it was probably the hair. But yeah, we're back. How's it sound now? We're just
It is perfect, bro. And here's where we were. Now that you've had people come to your open houses, what is the game plan? Or first off, how are you converting if you are at the open house? And then what's the game plan follow-up after?
Yeah, I'm signing people in with the app on my iPad called Curb Hero. That one's free. And then, yeah, get their email, their phone number in there. And then you can add in follow-up questions. I kind of shortened that down so I could just make conversation with them because I had a few questions in there before. And I noticed, you know, people get annoyed when it keeps going. And then, yeah, talking about if they have an agent and whatnot. So I did convert someone into a buyer's consultation last week. And they first said they had an agent, you know, kind of, you know, someone that they weren't really communicating with, but they had an agent. So I followed up with them because they're interested in the house and they wanted the disclosures. And at first they were still saying they had an agent, but then they called me back later that week, was like, hey, you know, we wanted to maybe go with you and see, you know, and so we set up the meeting. And then, yeah, they're still interested and we're looking at placing an offer, hopefully today or tomorrow and going from there. So, yeah.
I love this, Adonis. I love this. And, you know, here's the thing, you guys, let's just take this back to psychology. Oftentimes when people walk into an open house, they view you as a salesperson. And most of the human population view sales representatives in a negative connotation. Actually, as realtors, we have a consumer rating that's less than 10% because of some bad realtors out there. Let's face it. So as soon as you meet somebody, here's where they are. They are in their mind, no, we're just going to look, we're good. We have an agent. That instantly is them deflecting, and that's instantly them telling you that they're probably in their reptilian. The reptilian is fight or flight. I'm in fight or flight. No, fuck you. I don't want to talk to a salesperson right now. Only when somebody gets into their midbrain where thoughts and feelings are associated, will they begin to talk with you and open up. So a lot of the times it's smoke. It's smoke. What I mean by smoke is they're just telling you something to back off because I'm in fight or flight mode and I don't want you coming closer to me, right? So a lot of times it's smoke. And the only way that you'll get past the smoke is asking really, really good questions. So Adonis, really great job. Let's go to Jess and then, or no, Steffi and then Jess. Steffi, hit us with it. Open house strategy game. Let's hear from you. Same questions for you, Steffi.
Hi, good morning. I think we've had a pretty successful open house the past 2 weeks. Yesterday alone, we got 24 contacts out of about 35 groups who came in. And then, yeah, we've just been having pretty good luck with this property. And, you know, my approach lately has to just been kind of backing off because I don't want to come across as commission breath. And out of this property, we got 2 buyers consultation because we know our shit. And when they hear us, they're like, oh, wait, what are you saying? What are you talking about the numbers? And then they approach you. But if you're hovering over them as soon as they get in and like will follow them throughout the house, that's annoying. Like you don't even want to have that experience for yourself when you go to Sephora or something. So yeah, I don't know. I guess Peter's advice for me is like, you have to act like you don't need this deal. And then I think that works because commission breadth is so apparent. And for me also, I try to get to know the person for who they are. Say if they came in with a baby, I kind of pay attention to lots of the baby and ask what their name is, how old they are. So building rapport over the property, over the purchase. It's just really genuinely getting to know them. If they're wearing something that I appreciate, I'm like, I would point that out. I'm like, oh my God, that is a lovely necklace, or that's a lovely outfit. Where did you get it? So yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, you know, and this is also too, and I'm glad that you said this, Steffi. What I'm telling you guys about data mining, you're using that in your conversation to break down barriers, to break down walls of resistance. That's why you do that, right? Spend some time and find out, like, who are these people? Like, what are they up to? Like, ask some really good questions. Be interested in them versus 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,500. It's the same thing, you guys. Like, if they're going to 5 different open houses, I want you to be the one that stood out and that they're going to call back. So really quick, Steffi, now that you had so many people at the open house, how many people, or what's the follow-up cadence now? That's what I want to know. What's the follow-up cadence right now?
So the follow-up would be providing updates on the property. So say if there's an offer due date, then we let them know ASAP. And then if any one of those individuals we've connected further and we know that they are looking for assistance, right? Looking for an agent, then we kind of hit them harder. Like we either start a group text right away, send a video, and try to get that appointment as soon as you know, the time works for them. And yeah, I had 3 consults this week. Pretty cool.
Beautiful. I love it. Congrats. And then how many, so all the people, other people go into your CRM, and how often are you following up with them?
In the beginning, I would follow up with them probably every other day, and then Tom, we kind of hit them. We take turns on hitting them, and then after they tell us to back off or something, if they tell us to back off, then we obviously have another form of following up. But yeah, at least, hey, some of them I really appreciate when they're like, oh, actually, thank you so much for your follow-up, but we're working with an agent that we love. And I'm just like, I am so supportive of that. I love that. I'm glad you're working with someone, you know, who you can trust, because I think it's incredibly important. And that's something I advocate for as well. Like, I never want to force someone to square.
Oh, sorry. Someone unmuted themselves.
No worries. Okay. Yeah, no, I never want to force someone to work with me. I just provide them my value. I provide them with my, you know, my character, because I know I do a great job. And if they want to work with me, then fantastic. If not, then I hope you have a wonderful service with another agent.
Ooh, I love this. I love this. So great stuff. I was wondering how many of you are sending a video message either at the house while you're still in the living room, or once you get home. How many people are doing that? Please give me okay. So who wants to and I'll come right over to you, Jess, and then to Jennifer, and we'll close out. Who wants to say their open house video that they would send right here? I want to hear it. Lizette, you want to share yours? So you're sending the video to me. I just came. You met me, Amanda, and you met Silas, and it was 123 Main Street, and you're sending me a video. What's that sound like? I want everyone to hear this.
Yes, good afternoon, Elias. This is Lisette Miranda. We met at 123 Main Street. I wanted to thank you so much, and Amanda and Silas, for stopping by. I enjoyed you so much. Silas is adorable. Can't wait to see his cute little face again. Anyhow, I just wanted to send you a quick thank you. And as per our conversation, I'm going to go ahead and set you up for Real Scout Next. I am here with any questions. I am also going to send you a quick list based on what we discussed of what homes are available in that immediate market, maybe no more than a quarter mile from the property that we met. And again, based on our conversation, I'm looking forward to our Zoom call tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And in the meantime, any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you for stopping by.
Give her a round of applause.
Oh, and I also include a website property video that I do. I will include that as well with my my little hello video and thank you.
Wow, on the spot. We've never done that before, but that sounded good. You guys, you know me, I love my family. But for her to be able to make it personalized, and I love that. And if we didn't have an appointment, here's what I'd like to hear. You know, all the stuff from it was great meeting. I'm going to send you some stuff. And I just want your honest feedback, Lizette. Is this a house that you would write an offer on? I want to make sure that I'm giving my seller transparent information about what consumers thought. So can you do that? Give me some information back on what you thought about the property. Like, that's really, like, Lizette, that video, I believe, would hit. I believe, and I'm sure it has, and it's formed better relationships. So let's give her a round of applause for saying her impromptu video pitch. I love that. Good stuff. So let's go to Jess, and then we'll finish up with Jennifer. Jess, are you still on? Jess the Bling Realtor? I think we lost her. Okay, she's gonna hop back on. All right, Jennifer Angel, let's hear it.
Hi, good morning. I just wanted to share about getting more information. I agree with Joe Ellen. I do the raffle as well, but I use this form. I get it from First American. Old Republic Title has it too, which is the open house feedback form. So it asks them, you know, ask further information, and then how do they rate this house from, you know, 1 to 10. The price, the features, the curb appeal, all of that. And I tell them, hey, we're giving away, you know, $25 Amazon gift card today just by giving us your feedback, good or bad. You know, let us know what we can improve. Let us know what you like about the house. And it actually helps gauge, because people love to win prizes, right? So they're very open to filling that out. But it helps me gauge who's really interested in there. And that's how I was able to pinpoint from my last listing. This is the person that's going to make top offer on this property. And it was. She ended up being the buyer for the property, giving all her good review of it. So that's one. The second thing is I always offer a buyer consultation. So there was one person that came to my last open house, and she said, I asked them, how did they find us? Oh, I followed the sign. I just came from church and I followed your sign. And oh my God, I can't believe, you know, this is like almost 2 million. I don't think I can afford it. And so it's like, what makes you say that you can't afford it? Have you talked to a lender? Do you know what you're qualified for? And she said, no. And so I offered to her, I always do a free buyer consultation. Is this your first time to buy a home? Let's sit down. I'll go over it, no obligation. I'll go over the steps of how to buy a house and how you can qualify for a loan. I'll have my lender there too. And so I set up the appointment usually the next day to have the Zoom conversation with the lender with them.
I love it. And Jennifer, walk us through some of the numbers. What type of production did you do just last year?
Last year, I forgot.
It was like 14 million?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So things that we can all learn from. So really great stuff. And I love this, and I love the follow-up. Can you drop us that link to that document that you use? Is it I
just order it from the title company, so I'll type it in. It's the open house feedback form.
Cool. I love that.
You can request it from First American. I use the one from First American. They're my preferred title.
I love it.
First American or Old Republic has the form.
Love it. Really great stuff. And then as we close out, I'm going to come back to Elisa. Elisa, congratulations on a really great event. 45 people there. She spent literally $40. Excited for you. What's the follow-up, and how are you following up with all the people that came, vendors as well as guests? What are you sending to them? And then what's the next event?
I'm sending a thank you email, of course, with everyone in there, and everybody's excited, looking forward for the next event. I'm also had a photographer taking pictures, and we're going to create a video, and I'm going to send it to all the vendors so they can post it on their social media. And I'm asking them to tag each other, right? So the main goal was how do I get into their database? How do we share each other's clients, right?
Yes.
And that was it. I know I'm planting the seed. I probably won't see a referral right away. But the thing is, how do we support each other? They feel I'm supporting them. And probably the next event will be the summer mixer.
I love this.
Just every 3 months, don't overdo it. I was thinking on doing like a panel and doing all of that. And then I'm like, that's not really me. And it's my first event. I want to be comfortable. I want to be part of it too, you know? That way I can kind of talk to as many people as possible. So people were just networking. And another thing too, it depends who you mingle with. I had support from Chamber of Commerce of Concord, my BNI group, people came over. some people from Walnut Creek and Pleasant Hill Chamber of Commerce came in because I met them throughout the mixers. So they promoted it on their social media, and everybody was like there, you know. It was,
I love it.
It was
I love it.
overwhelming, feeling super grateful. Yeah.
I love it. This next week, or on Friday, actually, if Rose is here, we're going to talk a little bit about her event, but we're right at time. But I wanted to just say thank you to everybody that contributed today. What I want to do before we head out, you guys, let's go into here. On page 30 of the Sales Mastery booklet, which is located in Slack, you guys will find an open house marketing timeline there. If you're thinking about, well, what's the best practices in order for me to get a really successful open house launch, prepared for this weekend, follow this cadence, and I promise you guys will see tons and tons of results from it. And then last but not least, let's go here to general. If someone can start it, that way it doesn't have to just come from me. Right here in general, I want someone to put goals for the week, and I want you to put 4, actually, I'll just do it. Goals for the week. All right, 4/17. Here's what I want you guys to do. Do this, please. I want you guys to respond in the thread, okay? In the thread of what your goals are for this week. What are your conversations? What do you want to accomplish? If you want to work out a certain amount, whatever that looks like for you, I want to know what your business goals are, and also tell me what your mind, body, and spirit goals are for the week. So you guys, really good work today. Really, really good work. I appreciate you guys at the highest level. Rajir, I want to go over to you really quick. Take away from our time together today, rapid fire. Let me hear from you.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm going to get that video and that email out this week, letting everyone know that I'm moving in this direction. And it's so nice to see you all and learn from you all.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it. And then Colette, I'm going to have you take us off the field today. Colette, key takeaways from our time together today, and then take the team out of the field or off the field. Well, you know what I mean. Go ahead, Colette.
back to the dugout. Okay. Hey folks, thank you so much for the contributions. Lots of great information as always. I think just great takeaways about different strategies for open house, different strategies for events, raffles and gift cards to get information from people. Just thank you for your shares. You know, we are better as multiple minds than we are as one, and I appreciate learning and growing with you. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it, you guys. Listen, I appreciate you. I'm beyond grateful for each of your contributions, and thank you for everyone for listening, writing notes. Now, listen, go out there and take some action. Do something in your business that's going to move you closer to your financial goals. So you guys, as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and crush your week. Peace.
Thank you for you, Elias.
Thank you for you, Steffi.